We all know that the 90s were dominated by one player, Michael Jordan. Other NBA players feared him so much that his nickname was Black Jesus. He won 6 rings in his NBA career, but that came at some cost. He destroyed many players' aspirations for a ring in their careers. One of those players is Patrick Ewing. Patrick and Mike share a bitter relationship because of this, even till this day.
He's been talking trash from the first day that I met him, and he still continued to talk trash, telling me that I have never beaten him when it counts.
Whenever Patrick thinks he is going to reach the finals, Black Jesus comes and kills the dream. Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing had multiple incredible battles. They played against each other 5 times in the playoffs, yet Jordan won every series. They have been sharing a rivalry since their college days. In 1982, Jordan and Ewing faced off in the NCAA title game. Ewing's Georgetown Hoyas took a 62-61 lead with 57 seconds left in the game. But Jordan's game-winning jumper put his North Carolina Tar Heels up by 1 point. Jordan had 16 points and 9 rebounds in the victory, while Ewing recorded a double-double with 23 points and 11 rebounds. They established themselves as NBA superstars. Both players were chosen for the 50th anniversary team back in 1997. Before the ceremony, Jordan jokingly called Ewing a black hole and said that the best center was Dikembe Mutombo. Ewing saw Michael win championships one after the other, but Ewing failed to deliver every time. He had a great opportunity to win a ring when Jordan was playing baseball, but the Knicks You all know what happens with the Knicks. They choked in Game 6, so the game went to Game 7, where New York ultimately lost. Mike still to this day lives in Ewing's mind rent-free. The next player that couldn't win an NBA championship because of MJ was Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley had a nice career in the NBA, but he was unable to win an NBA championship. The 1993 NBA Finals was a closely contested series, with the Suns giving the Bulls a tough challenge. Barkley was the league MVP and took them to the finals, only to run into a Jordan-led Bulls on their first three-peat. Ultimately, he was a tiny player, a 6'6", 250-pound forward. I can't believe I'm saying a 6'6" man being tiny, but for a center he's pretty tiny. It would be okay in the modern NBA, but this was an era before zone defense was legal in the NBA, and in an era when teams contending for a title were getting very big in the front court, famous for playing slow, stall ball positions, getting the ball in the post, and backing down the defender for 10 to 15 seconds before taking a shot in the paint. He never won a ring in his career, and his closest shot was in '93, which was shut down. Reggie Miller was the toughest team MJ played after the Pistons, of course. That gave him tough competition. Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller had many epic battles against each other. They both were fierce competitors who were ready to do everything to win. They played 49 games against each other in the regular season and 7 in the playoffs.
Well, my rookie year, we were playing the Chicago Bulls, and this is Michael Jordan's 3rd or 4th year in.
Okay.
And we were playing an exhibition game in some obscure place. And most veterans do not like to play in exhibition games. They want to get to the real thing. I'm a wide-eyed, energetic rookie, and we're playing this exhibition game, and Michael's going through the motion. And Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan? The guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water, you're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you know, you're right, Michael. Who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right, there's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10, and he has 4 points, right? I'm doing all this talking. He's like, okay. Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44. And I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, be sure and be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus. Okay, I'm so sorry.
They both respected and trash talked each other. They were a big rivalry. During the series versus the Bulls, the Pacers were down 2-0 in the first two games. However, they managed to square it 3-3 by the sixth game of the series. But Reggie Miller's 22 points went in vain as Jordan's Bulls recorded an 88-83 win in the final game of the series to reach the NBA Finals. Stockton and Malone were part of the Utah Jazz and they faced the Bulls in the 97 and 98 NBA Finals. They failed miserably to win an NBA championship because of Black Jesus. Malone is still bitter of Michael Jordan. As you can see, he left Michael Jordan off his all-time starting five. What? Most fantasy starting groups start with Jordan as the centerpiece. He's at least no worse than the second choice behind LeBron James, and that too even is crazy. Jordan is the GOAT. Malone opted to use his starting guard spots on John Stockton obviously, and Oscar Robertson. He put LeBron on the forward spot and Wilt Chamberlain in the center and himself as a power forward. Who does it think he is? Bro thinks he is Michael Jordan. He wasn't allowed to put himself in the forward spot, so there was one open roster spot and it could be filled by Michael Jordan easily, I'm just saying. But Malone was thinking something different. He put Scottie Pippen for the spot. He said that Pippen deserved the position because he led the team in every statistical category when Jordan wasn't there. Of course, Jordan led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships in addition to leading the team in scoring all those years. So I'm not sure I'm following Malone's logic here, man. Malone was then asked the question, "You got a man crush on Scottie Pippen, right?" Malone said no, he just liked Scottie as a player. He doesn't have a crush on him. But he admitted that he has a man crush on LeBron James. Bro, what? This guy is fucking crazy. He's a crazy guy who snitched on Kobe. And you know all of his crime history, He has gone mad because of Michael Jordan crushing him in the finals. If you were a player in the 90s, then you would be scared of the date when you would play the Chicago Bulls. Because you know that Black Jesus is coming.